morning. It's another beautiful day. It's September. Kids just started back to school. This whole starting and stopping thing doesn't work for me. When I get on the highway, everything's crispy and good, but driving through town, not so good. So today's video, I wanted to talk about, I guess I would categorize it as a social dilemma. Being new to sports, competitive sports, I have a lot to learn, I think. But I'm also always making observations. So anybody that's not new to sports, I'm sure probably has already observed this, and it's just part of life. But this is new for me, so I wanted to talk about it. And that's idolizing someone. I was talking about it this morning with a friend, and I said, you know, it's kind of like the Meet the Joneses. You go out on the courts, and maybe there's a person that you aspire to be like. Maybe it's the way they play, the way they dress, the way they look, the friend group that they're a part of. Maybe they're better than you, and you want to get to their level so that you can play with them. It's definitely a dynamic that I think motivates athletes. And it doesn't have to be, I don't want to look at it like it's a negative connotation. I never grew up idolizing a sports figure because I wasn't into sports. But I know a lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, people call them heroes. Olympic athletes are like the top of the top, right? They wanna be there someday, right? If I think about like what I know about psychology, which isn't a lot, but I do like to observe people. I think we all have a natural instinct to want to fit in and want to be liked and want to feel seen and heard and understood. I think it's it might be one of like the 5 needs that we have as humans. I don't know. But it's in all of us. We all want to be liked, and we all want to be welcomed into a community. And I think pickleball, because it's such a social sport, definitely has that dynamic. I remember the first time I walked onto the court at this tennis club that I'm a part of. I'm not going to say any names, but there was definitely someone there that I wanted to instantly be friends with. I wanted to be in their group. I thought I had a lot in common with this person, and I wanted to be friends with them. Because I started pickleball because I wanted the social. So, you know, that's always a goal for me, is to make friends and meet new people, because I don't have any other avenue currently to meet people. The way it is with pickleball, it's really easy to meet new people. So I instantly had a goal that this person I want to be friends with. And I guess with that comes, you know, I want to be as good as them, right? Because I want their respect. They were better than me, and they already had a group that was all the good players on the court, and I thought I want to be good enough to play with them. So that's been a goal of mine for the last 7 months. And it's probably a big motivator of why I try so hard, and why I spend so much time working on my game, and why it's so important to me to improve. Now, I don't want to say it's the only reason, because I think the biggest reason why I am working to improve is because I love to grow. That's a passion of mine. I love learning and growing. But yeah, there's probably some subconscious stuff in there about wanting to be liked and wanting to be in with the it crowd. And it plays a role. It's a motivator for sure. So I'm sure if you're anything like me, there's somebody out there that you're currently playing with, or maybe a pro or someone that you watch, that you say to yourself, I want to be like them. And I think that's great. I think if it motivates you to be better and to try harder and to work harder, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And I just love that there's so many aspects to being an athlete that I didn't know about. And as I get further and further into playing competitively, I'm realizing what it takes to motivate these people, and it's so interesting to me. So I hope you found this interesting. I'm on my way right now to play with some 4-0s out in Camas, Washington. It's about a half-hour drive, so just got on the road, just got on the highway, so probably noticed the audio is a little bit louder in the background. I actually ordered a mic. I ordered like a little lavalier microphone that I'm going to clip to my shirt when I'm driving, and hopefully that'll pick up my voice better, and you won't have to turn the video up as loud to hear me, and maybe the background noise won't be quite as loud. That's the goal. That's coming in the mail. I should get it in a couple of days, so hopefully you'll notice an improvement with my audio. I know I've recorded a couple of videos now with this orange hoodie on. This hoodie is very important to me. My brother died about 2 years ago from a fentanyl overdose. And he was a huge sports fan. He didn't play sports growing up, but he was very loyal to his teams. He was a Syracuse Orangemen basketball fan, huge basketball fan, and a Miami Dolphins fan. And when he died, I took a couple of his favorite hoodies, this one being probably his most favorite. And so I like to wear it to remember him. Plus it's a little bit chilly outside, so funny story about this hoodie. I was at a tournament. Well, I was at Green Meadows, the club that I go to, playing that morning, and I'd worn this, and I took it off, and I set it down, and then I forgot it, and I left it there. And then the next day, they were having a tournament at the club, and I went there to get the hoodie, and I saw it all the way in the back on the courts, leaning up against a post, but they wouldn't let me onto the courts because it was an official tournament, and only the players were allowed on the courts. And it was just like one of those moments where it was just out of reach. I couldn't get it. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll come back tomorrow and get it. So I went back tomorrow, the next day, and it was gone. And it wasn't in the lost and found. I asked the front desk. They searched through all their stuff. I looked everywhere. I asked like the cleaners, anybody that worked there. I just said, hey, did you see it? It's a bright orange hoodie. It's not hard to miss. Nobody had seen it. So like a week went by, and still every day I'd ask, and still nobody had seen it. There's this tennis coach, pickleball coach, that I've taken a few lessons from, that is always on the courts. She's on the courts almost every single day. It's a really sweet lady, and I thought, hey, maybe I'll just check and see if she knows who put on the tournament. Maybe she has contact information. This is like grasping for straws at this point. I was pretty devastated that I'd lost it. So I just said, Nancy, do you happen to know who put on the tournament last week? And she said, yeah, I got the lady's number. I said, do you mind texting her and just asking her if maybe when they were packing up from the tournament that somebody grabbed the sweatshirt and took it to, like, you know, wherever they're set up, they're lost and found. And I told her, you know, the backstory of how important it was to me. It was my brother's. And she said, yeah, I'll text her right now. So she texts her. Well, I walked away, and she comes up to me like a half an hour later, and she said, yeah, the lady texted me right back. She said she's got it in the back of her car. She'll bring it here tomorrow. So I don't know where this lady was from. I don't know where the tournament was from. But I got the sweatshirt back. She dropped it off the next day. So I just wanted, I don't know if it's the area. I think most people are really good and they're kind-hearted. And I've seen several experiences where people have left paddles and backpacks and clothing on the courts at all types of places, public places, clubs, everywhere, cell phones, you know. And not once have I heard a story that somebody took their stuff and they didn't get it back. And I just love that I'm a part of a community that kind of situation doesn't happen, you know, whether it's pickleballers or just the area I'm in. It's so nice to know that there's good people out there and that we have each other's backs. So yeah, a little story about my hoodie. So, you know, I wear a lot in the wintertime. I'm from upstate New York, and we grew up wearing hoodies, you know, 9 months out of the year. And so this is just in the wintertime, unless it's really cold, I'll have a hoodie on. And I have a few other ones that I got for my brother that I'll wear, but this one's my favorite. So you got a twofer. You got people are good and they have kind hearts, and you know, who is your idol? Who is it that when you go out on the courts and you see them, you think to yourself, man, one day I'm gonna be as good as them, or one day I'm gonna be in with that crowd. I'm curious. I had comments disabled on all my previous videos, but I figured that out and I got that fixed. So if you're watching, comment. You don't have to say a name, but just comment on, you know, what's your motivator? Is it a person? Is it a goal? What is it that keeps you playing pickleball every single day? All right, that's all I got. Be great.